I'll agree to lay off for 48 hours. But I give you my word, if you don't succeed, I'll come in here, seal every door, place everybody under technical arrest, take fingerprints, conduct a rigid inspection. I don't care if the whole world knows it. There have been 6 murders committed all in the same circumstances. The evidence points here.
Another one.
If you only knew the things that have happened.
Are you worried about your father?
Yes, I am. Terribly.
Oh, the only thing I'm concerned about is your safety.
Say, what's the matter with you?
What's the matter with me? Nothing at all. Only all last night I lay down with a bunch of stiffs. Look at a lot of goofy guys, let a dame poke a gun in my stomach, and then I take a trick cigar from a dumb policeman.
It is my theory that one of us in the past, from dire necessity, was driven to cannibalism. The memory of that act was hammered like a nail to the mind of that man. Shrewd and brilliant. He could conceal his madness from the human eye, even from himself, but he can't conceal it from the eyes of the radio sensitivity.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Wednesday Night Scream Stream minisode. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Namaste.
Namaste. You are looking very like namaste. You know, I don't have the long hair anymore, so I look
zen right now.
I see that you're
doing yoga earlier. Ask me how I feel.
How do you feel, Evan?
Relaxed.
You know what? I can tell. I mean, you're glowing like an angel over there, first of all, and then your hair. You've got a very, peaceful Jesus vibe going on right now, and then the tapestry is just the kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, so, I've aligned my chakras, and I'm aglow.
Well, it shows. It really does. So thanks, Evan, for being here, and thanks everybody for tuning in this evening. Happy to have you here as always. Taking the middle of the work week to chill and relax with a little bit of public domain horror. And I will say I'm taking this to heart now more than ever. Just kind of doing this temporary job where I'm working all day, every day. I'm very exhausted. So tonight, I'm prepping the show, getting the show ready. And then, I'm like, my body's breaking down. It's been a long day of multiple days in a row, waking up early, getting home late, tired. And I'm like, I got to get the trailers. I got to do this, that. And then all of a sudden I started watching a trailer, and then it's like I got possessed by something. I took a deep breath and I was relaxed. And I was like, this is what the show is. This is what even having the minisodes is about. That there is something therapeutic to watching just some old thing that, there's some stuff that's going to grab your attention, but you don't have to pay 100% attention because, you watching along with friends as we do here, whether it's, it's me and Evan, but if you're hanging out in the chat, we're here to enjoy this cheesy old stuff together. And that's,
That's what we're here for. We're here to help you de-stress here halfway through your work week.
And if it's working for me, then it's gonna work for you too. I guarantee it. That's a Scream Stream guarantee. So yeah, no, this is what the show is all about. And of course, we are about to crack into the fourth exciting chapter of The Whispering Shadow, which is our cliffhanger serial for season 8, starring with gotta have to make that correction, with Bela Lugosi. And it is before I even go any further, one thing I do just want to say, a big fat huge thank you to everybody out there on YouTube that has watched and liked and commented and subscribed in the last 2 months, because we just the other day, just a day ago, was it yesterday? I think, or 2 days ago, I believe.
Within the past couple of days.
We hit 500 subscribers. So, let's give it I want to, big round of applause to you guys, to Evan. I mean, everybody. It may not sound like a lot, but this is the kind of the first step to being able to kind of grow this family, the Scream Stream family. Or should we start having a name for our viewers, Evan? Do we need to come up with something? What do you think? Scream Streamers? That's not
bad.
Not bad. That's something that I've been flirting with, but I haven't adopted it in the show yet. But if everybody out there likes Scream Streamers, we'll do a couple polls and we'll find out from everybody. But for now, we just want to say thanks to everybody, because it's, again, we're a year and 3/4 into this exploration of public domain horror. Almost 2 years. And so to be doing, seeing this kind of interaction on YouTube, that's what the show is all about, interaction. And so with 500 subscribers and with all the watch hours and everything else, we're just super thankful. So, and this is it's the holiday season, so it's time to really, reflect and be, appreciative of what we've gained over the past year. So that was a really huge milestone that you all helped us achieve. So
the true meaning of Christmas is public domain horror.
It really is. And we are gonna be serving it up for you the rest of the, I mean, again, Christmas is gonna come and go. It's gonna be here so quick, but we will have plenty of holiday programming, especially for you guys. And like I said, getting the Whispering Shadow unraveled here, and trying to see who's casting this shadow, and it's a mystery. That is the mystery. And one thing that I think I prefaced it the first chapter that we watched of this, is that there, from what I've read, are a fair amount of clip shows. And just, which basically are just chapters of this that are mostly chock full of clips from previous episodes. So we've only had 3 episodes so far. So
yeah, might we be getting one of those tonight?
I think so. From what I've read, I think the 4th chapter is a clip show. So
a nice recap.
So yeah, and if you're tuning in for the first time, then this is the perfect episode to do it, because even though this is the 4th chapter, you're going to get caught up to speed in a really nice way. And, that's going to keep happening. This is, for better or for worse, we're going to have more clip shows. This is, if they're doing it as early as chapter 4, you better believe that they're going to be running them again, at pretty consistent intervals. So
if you're a late arrival, you're right on time.
Exactly. So, we're so far, I mean, we've been given about a dozen suspects, maybe not quite that many, but we have a fair amount of suspects and a lot of suspicious characters, but you still can't really tell who the Whispering Shadow could be. So,
yeah.
And Evan's been
the jewels are in play though, and that's
yes.
our other, besides trying to figure out who the shadow is, trying to keep track of who's got the jewels.
If you were looking
for your other task,
if you were looking for a MacGuffin, because that's the whole other thing you need to really kind of, it's obviously the mystery of who is the Whispering Shadow. We got to have something to kind of sink our teeth into and get some stakes behind. And yeah, these jewels, man, everybody's had them. They've been bouncing around all over the hills of Los Angeles. So we've seen a fair amount of stunts and some pretty fun cliffhangers so far.
Had a nice car crash last week.
Forgot about the car crash. That's right.
Flying off a cliff.
It kind of, if I'm misremembering, let me know. It happened really fast, right?
It was right at the end.
There was something up with the editing that wasn't quite right, because it seemed like the car crash kind of came out of nowhere, but it was still a serviceable cliffhanger. And, last week's episode was entitled The All-Seeing Eye. Didn't really have anything to do with the episode.
Yeah, not really.
So we'll see. This week's episode is entitled, Evan, what is it? I don't have it pulled up in front of me.
The Shadow Strikes.
The Shadow Strikes, which, that's a good name for a clip show if you're just going to have all the times the Shadow striked, Might as well see every time the Shadow's done something dastardly up to this point. So, that's just a hunch. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Maybe that'll be the cliffhanger. Maybe we'll get something. It'd be nice if they still provided us with a new cliffhanger on top of recycled clips,
Yeah.
Give us a new.
Maybe this is going to be an advertisement for, I want to say, dark cigarettes.
Could be.
Lucky Strikes, Shadow Strikes.
Okay. Could be.
Some old-timey evil cigarettes.
Those sound like some old-timey cigarettes. I mean, yeah. I mean, back in those days, you can't imagine all the off-brand cigarette brands. I mean, who's got, I want to see the collection of like old, somebody's got a shelf full of old-timey cigarette boxes.
Yeah,
maybe
if there's anyone watching right now,
that's what I was gonna say.
Cigarette collection.
If there's any of our viewers out there, yeah, let us. you can.
We'll show and tell. We'll share it on the show.
Yep. You can email all your pictures to screamstreamshow@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to put them on the air. We definitely like showing off any interesting vintage cigarette collection. Yeah, they just don't make them like that anymore. Well, on that note, anything before we get into tonight's exciting chapter of The Whispering Shadow, Evan?
I'll just say, Nama, stick around.
We hope that you do. On that note, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of The Whispering Shadow right now. was really loud. Apologies if that was too loud. My B. And you know, one thing I read today that I guess I didn't really pick up on or mention earlier, this is a pre-code serial. I don't know that we've noticed anything pre-codey, but it's an interesting detail to kind of look out for if you notice anything pre-codey. There's our suspect list.
The usual suspects.
Mm-hmm. That's what the top of the credits should say. A scientific genius.
He's on TV now?
Man, yeah, I guess so. Dude, great name for an album, Radio Death Ray. Or a band.
Yeah, that's pretty
Radio
dope.
Death Ray.
Yeah.
There we go. And then their first album would be Professor Strang's Waxworks. Jasper Slade. I love how, like, people have obvious good guy and bad guy names. Jack Foster, All-American Boy. And then whatever Slade.
Yeah, Jasper Slade, obvious bad guy.
Professor Strang. Maybe bad, maybe just eccentric. Who knows? That's the fun.
So I think Jasper has the jewels right now. If I remember.
Okay. I'm glad you're keeping track of the jewels
I'm
and
trying
the
to keep
suspects.
score.
Good, good. Somebody has
I
to.
need to be wearing my black and white stripes.
True, you need to have your flags at the ready. When I'm ready to see you throw a flag.
Strang's offside.
Offside, Evan? Offside? Oh, Evan.
Yeah.
Evan.
Just the one.
Just the
just
one
the
side.
one.
Just the one side. I love that. It was a little slow motion. You had caught a little bit of wind. Nice. All right, Jack. Oh my God, that was amazing. Just that one shot of Bela Lugosi driving like that. I could watch 20 minutes of that.
Bela Lugosi emoting.
Just driving like a maniac. Road rage Lugosi.
Mr. Foster's car went off the road. He may be badly hurt.
So we have no time to waste on him. We've got to catch Slade.
Who cares about Jack Foster?
For this when I catch him. Ain't ever going to get that thing. Guess you'll start now. You better get Foster or the Whispering Shadow will.
Bird.
Shadow.
Where is he? Oh, he's behind him.
The Shadow.
Oh, he's over there now.
All of you, including you three, on the road. Slade has the package. He's heading south on the road from Jerome's house. Get it. At any cost. Failure means death for us all.
Yeah, that's the truth. He's ruthless with his employees, man. Oh shit. Nice.
There has been a fair amount of gunplay in this. Is that like a pre-code thing?
Could be. Just wildly firing like that.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of that.
I mean, outside of a Western, yeah. I mean,
We've got the package.
in a gangster movie, which even then, those were things that gangster movies had a hard time
No.
after the code.
Jewels were never in this box. Slade got the wrong package.
Where are the jewels? We don't know. Does Strang have them? They're still in the house, maybe? Or the waxwork? Sorry.
Circuit is broken. Somebody's opened this door while we were away.
Oh, but
They may still be inside. Act as if nothing had happened.
Act natural.
Act natural. I think this is a prequel to Scared to Death. You think Lugosi, you know, he's really a magician.
Yeah, that's why everyone was sneaking around in that movie, looking for the jewels.
He just seeing him in that hat and in this cape, it just looks the same. It's just reminding me,
Yeah.
what the hell? Is he projecting that?
Mr. Jarvis.
You recognize him?
Yes.
Or it's
Secretary to Mr. Bradley, president of the storage
like
company.
security footage?
Put an end to his spying.
Oh, Father, wait.
I'm confused. Why did it look like that? Nice. Nice.
You were right. It is best not to let him know we suspect him. Follow him quickly.
Back to the table. Come on. Shadows is going to be here any minute.
Shadow. I see you have the package. Yes,
The package.
but the jewels are not in it. We obey your orders to the letter. We have not failed. You did well. Those papers are of great value to me. Guard them with your lives.
What?
Hello. Empire Storage? Give me the radio room, quick.
Uh-oh.
Begin broadcasting. Yes, just a minute. I will call him.
This goofy guy. I can't even remember his name, man.
Mr. Steinbeck! Mr. Steinbeck!
What is it?
You are wanted at the pole.
All right.
Yeah, Steinbeck wasn't even in the last episode, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yes, I searched Strang's place from top to bottom, and I found he's in this thing deeper than you suspected. Well, this is serious. I'll have to leave right away. You come back here and cover things at this end.
I don't gotta worry about him. He's never gonna figure any of this out. I hope he solves it. Fucking
He was the shadow all along.
Gomer Pyle sitting in front of his fucking radio all day. Everybody's spying on everybody.
Come in. Hello, Steinbeck. What's on your mind?
I'll be gone for an hour or two, Mr. Bradley. I've got to see the steel company and some other people about the new radio tower.
With your suspicions of Steinbeck, Mr. Raymond, shouldn't you keep track of him?
Don't worry, Mr. Bradley. No matter where he goes, one of my men will be always trailing him.
Got my best man on the job.
And let's take a break, right? We'll wait for him to drive. Oh, I gave him the slip. Nice. All right, let's take a break right there. I'm at 10:09, right on the face of Robert Raymond. So he hasn't done much this episode. He's just sitting in the manager's office.
Delegating.
I guess. Maybe he's just so chill because he has the jewels. He's not worried about it because he's sitting on them all anyway.
Okay. Yeah, his accomplice is he's just misdirection.
Could be. I wouldn't surprise me in the least. I mean, this is supposed to be some world famous detective. Probably just a guy that commits the crimes. It's like, yes, this is exactly how it happened and who did it. Robert Raymond, world famous detective, my foot. No, I mean, he's, and I gotta say, I guess I was wrong, because so far this doesn't seem like a clip show to me, right?
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of time left if they're gonna start showing clips.
No, it seems like all new stuff, and it's, par for the course, running around, a lot of spying in this, a lot of spy versus spy kind of. That's probably what we're gonna get in the second half. They're gonna start physically hurting each other. We're due for some fights and some crashes by the end of this, so we'll see what they have in store. But definitely, I mean, what did you think of the first half of the Shadow Strikes, Evan?
I like Mr. Raymond's man. I don't really know what to call him. What do you call like the assistant of a detective?
Assistant detective? No, I don't know. Detective's assistant. I don't know. It's a great question.
Roy Incognito, detective's assistant.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. I don't know. I mean, so who is Raymond's spy? Because I can't even, like, it seems like Steinbeck has a spy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then was Raymond's guy following Steinbeck, I guess?
I guess so. I think so.
And then Steinbeck gave him the slip. Had to make sense of all that. You got to pay close attention. They don't tell you what's going on. You got to work hard to keep track of who's working for who and who's on whose side. And, the easiest.
Yeah, I don't know how necessary it's gonna be to like pay super close attention to this, but trying to try to figure out who the Shadow is. It's asking a little bit more work than some of the other serials we've watched.
Yeah, I mean, again, we touched on that last week, that none of the other serials that we have watched has the bad guy been a mystery. Like, it's always very obvious who the villain of the serial is. So this is kind of definitely a change of pace for us. But yeah, it's kind of like, last season with 13 Demon Street, we were definitely kind of in the depths of mystery almost every week, every other week, and kind of wondering how things were going to shake out, how this was going to, how this happened or how that happened. So it seems almost more akin to that in that way than the other serials. It is nice to have that extra element. It is a little disappointing that it doesn't, that the hero isn't as big as a, Flash Gordon or a Crash Corrigan, or that the villain, I mean, we have Lugosi, but he's made ambiguous on purpose as part of the, mystery element. So it's he's kind of restricted in that way, which is, not my favorite Lugosi, but that's happened so many times in his career where they bring him into this production and his name is prominently featured in the credits, and then the role is just kind of misdirection. It's a red herring. Bela Lugosi was probably the best red herring before the red herring from A Pup Named Scooby Doo. I think we can all agree on that. Literally, so many like into the 40s, there were so many movies Lugosi was in that it was just. And who could the killer be? Well, is it Lugosi as
We've watched Tom, haven't we?
We
Wasn't
have.
that his role in the gorilla?
Yes, 100%. His role in the gorilla is.
I remember.
Did the butler do it? Yes, you did remember, Evan. I mean, again, that's one that I inexplicably love, even though it's, the Ritz brothers are not anybody's favorite brand of comedy team, but they're, they're if you like your brothers, because you think of all the brother comedy teams, the Marx Brothers, Three Stooges was, most of the time it was two brothers and their friend, I mean, hilarious Waiter Brothers all the way up to now. There's something about but the Ritz brothers are just so, I don't know. Their jokes are just, I mean, they hated the gorilla. They tried to get out of making the gorilla. So, I mean, obviously but that material wasn't the best for them, but I don't think they were trying very hard either. So you get what you get.
Maybe that's who the Whispering Shadow is. It's a gorilla.
Could be, man. I mean, again, we are finding out on this show just how prominent gorillas and apes were to mystery and horror films from the 30s all the way to the 50s.
Kind of inexplicably so.
Yeah, I don't know when you signed on to this show, Evan, that you expected. I mean, again, that we would identify ape core in season 2 when we watched Horror Express from the 70s, and that was just scratching the surface. And now we're, I mean, again, I don't, not to spoil any. I don't think I'm spoiling anything, because if you look at any poster for this movie that we're watching on Friday, you're going to see a gorilla on the cover. So we're getting an ape core film on Friday, and you can't throw a stone 5 feet in the 30s, 40s public domain horror realm without a gorilla turning up. You just can't.
Hollywood was just full of gorillas back then.
Gorillas and old dark houses, and this week's movie has both. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. We got
some trailers.
We have some trailers. So, it was good that we left off tonight's episode on Robert Raymond, because the trailers tonight are all movies that the actor playing Robert Raymond is in. His name is, I think it's Robert Warwick, I believe. And he was I think he started as a leading man in the silent era and, played kind of all different kinds of roles, and then transitioned, like a lot of actors did, into character roles. And so we're going to see, tonight, the pre-roll was the trailer for Dr. X, where he plays a police commissioner. So, he was very good at playing, he played a lot of authority figures, cops, judges. Usually in Hollywood back in that day, you were typecast. Like, if you played a cop or a judge, once or twice, you pretty regularly could depend on work as a cop or a judge, That was how Hollywood worked. And this actor played a lot of those. And so in Dr. X, which again, pre-code horror movie, which is absolutely amazing, 2 years before tonight's serial, it's actually in color. The trailer we saw was black and white, but it is in color. And he ended up throughout the 40s, he appeared in two different kinds of movies. Technicolor swashbuckler films with Errol Flynn, which is the first trailer we're going to see, is for one directed by the same director as Dr. X, and it's called Is it the Sea Eagle? It's something like that. The Sea Eagle. That doesn't sound right, but I think Sea Eagle is it. And
Not the seagull.
sequel would be better, I think. Obviously, anything that's taking place on a ship in coastal areas. And then and he was in a whole bunch of like Errol Flynn headlined. I think he was in The Private Lives of Elizabeth and Essex, which has Betty Davis and Vincent Price. He's in a bunch of other ones. And then the other kind of movies that he was in a lot of in the 40s were comedies. Mostly directed or associated with one man named Preston Sturges, who was kind of a titan of 40s comedy. Like he had his own brand of like zany kind of comedies, and he really like pushed the production code super hard. Like he really like tested it as far as he could. And he just had a stock company of actors he would work with over and over again. And Robert Warwick was in his stock company. So the second trailer we're going to see is for a movie that Preston Sturges produced uncredited because he got mad about the way the director was doing it and he left the project because he was a director in and of himself. I'm surprised he even produced anything another person made or tried to. But it's called I Married a Witch. And it's a kind of a fantasy screwball comedy. So it looks fun. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen either of these. So we're going to get these two trailers, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of tonight's chapter of The Whispering Shadow. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Up there! Clear your leech lines! Clear away your mizzen bangs! Slack away your true lines! Out with all sail! Unfurling the glorious saga of the boldest buccaneer the world has ever known, Warner Brothers bring you the flaming story of the Sea Hawk, a galley slave who became the chieftain of the most dangerous band of men ever to fight under the flag of the Skull and Crossbones, riding the danger-swept waters of the Spanish Main, fighting through enemy ambushes in the swamp-infested jungles of Panama and Cartagena, attacking the fighting ships of a great armada with cutlass and saber. Errol Flynn as the Sea Hawk, leading his men to the four corners of the earth, swooping down on the golden cargoes of mighty galleons like a savage bird of prey.
Will the man have a right to know what he's signing up for, Captain? Not on board this ship, he hasn't. My men follow without questions.
But I believe in you. And whatever you do must be right. Please let me help you.
Over the side, men! Boarders away!
Once upon a night, two wisps of smoke were out on a lark, a witch and her father.
Goodbye, Father.
Goodbye, Jennifer. Be a bad girl.
Her first night was a calamity, but she was rescued by a very handsome man.
Oh, no.
Cold in this furnace?
But I have no clothes.
No clothes. Now, this little witch was no ordinary witch. Oh, no, she was beautiful. and did the strangest things. But she had a terrible time making the right man fall in love with her.
Oh, I am a pretty good judge of character. And I don't think you're really a bad girl.
I guess this'll take longer than I planned.
It's getting late.
But I want you to know what I am.
All right. All right, what are you?
I'm a witch. Why do you look at me that way? Oh, my dress. Do you like it?
I don't know. It's such a shock to see you dressed.
And we are back. So that was the trailers for The Sea Hawk, which I should have remembered. I'm a fucking Seahawk. I should have fucking remembered the Seahawk. What the hell am I knew the Sea Eagle didn't sound right. And I proceeded to say it multiple times. The Sea Hawk. It like when I saw this trailer earlier, when I, got it ready for the show, I didn't even read it like that in my head. Like, because I usually see Seahawk as one word, UNCW Seahawks. So seeing in the way that the Seahawk, I just like my brain didn't put it together like that. I should have remembered. So
like Seahawk will travel.
Exactly. Yes. I feel like a fucking idiot. What's new?
Your alma mater would be very proud of you.
They really would be, wouldn't they? And of course, that second trailer, I Married a Witch, which Evan pointed out, he started humming the Bewitched theme song. And yes, that movie was one of the inspirations for the television show Bewitched. And
Bewitched was the sequel.
Yeah, eventually they settle down and, it all. So what I read, the plot of that movie, it's a little wild. It's that he's a descendant of one of the people who led the Salem witch trials. So she's like coming back to like mess with it. Yeah. And so it's like a whole, very Hollywood, very, very like kind of ridiculous. And it's based on a short story that I guess came out around that time. And then there was another later movie that also was a, inspiration for the TV show Bewitched. But that was one, of course, the actor that we were discussing, Robert Warwick, did not appear in either of those trailers, although his name was shown in the I Married a Witch trailer. So, not prominent enough for them to show your face, but you got enough cred to be able to put your name at the end. That's worth something. Back in those days, it was. And this day, it is. People work for credit all the time. My God. Don't even get me started. But yeah, so... interesting movies, and we're about to see what Robert's character Robert is about to pull in the conclusion of tonight's episode of The Whispering Shadow. He was just walking out of the office. It looked like he was on a mission, so I think we can expect some exciting things from Robert Raymond. But what are you thinking, Evan? How do you think this second half of this episode's going to shake out?
Well, so the Shadow Strikes is the title of the episode, and the only physical thing we've seen the Shadow do so far is kill one of his employees. So
true.
Maybe he's gonna clean house a little more.
Yeah, just start over with a new gang, I say. Just get rid of all of them. They're obviously ineffective. They don't have the jewels. They spent...
I really appreciated how they came back with that box of money or paper or whatever it was, and we're like, so we don't have the jewels. Please don't kill us.
Now, don't be mad, but those definitely the vibes I got from that. Yeah, I mean, this gang has been pretty ineffective. They just spent the past 2 episodes following the wrong guy around. And I guess we don't know where these jewels are, do we, Evan?
I don't.
Because
they've been lost.
Before we started tonight's episode, we were under the impression that they were with Slade. Now we find out we were
didn't
wrong.
Have them after all.
So, God, who knows where these fucking jewels are by now? But we're gonna see. Anything before we get into it, Evan?
Well, if things don't go super well for the Shadow, but maybe he gets a second chance, then maybe we could say the Shadow spares.
We could. I like it. Yeah. I think that works. All right. On that note, if you have it queued up, Evan.
I do.
Then we're going to get into the exciting conclusion of Chapter 4, The Shadow Strikes, right now.
Well, what luck? Slade got away with the jewels.
And Jerome did have them.
Yes, plenty of people knew about it beside ourselves. Strang
Don't
his
stand
daughter
so close to me.
Don't stand so. Don't stand so. Now, string spine.
Jerome isn't here yet, and I've got to leave. You keep your eye on him.
Hello, Jarvis.
Dang. Hair on the film. Somebody get this hair out of here.
Why is it so thick in the middle?
I don't know. I guess that's just how that person's follicles are. Maybe it's a mustache hair.
Got a busted follicle.
Then you were not. Oh, I'm so glad. I came over to inquire about you.
That's very kind of you, Miss Strang.
Oh, please. Won't you even let me thank you for saving my life?
Miss Strang, I let you make a fool of me once when you begged me to believe that your father isn't the Whispering Shadow.
We're going to get some pre-code stuff right here. No, just it's JK.
What right?
That's the one thing I cannot tell you.
Why not?
It was very good.
Because it's my father's secret. If it were known, it would bring ruin and disaster to many people.
You'll have to tell me more than that if you expect me to believe you.
Will this make you change your mind? I don't know who the Whispering Shadow is, but I'm as anxious to capture him as you are. If you'll listen to me, we can work together and unravel this mystery.
I'd like nothing better than that.
Uh-oh.
Hello? Yes? The girl is here now. She's pulling the wool over Foster's eyes.
Watch them both. I am about to strike, and they must not interfere.
I'll take care of that.
Now, that's a little too obvious, isn't it? I'm about to strike. It's like really trying to get us to believe he's the Shadow. That guy cast a shadow. Look at it. Shadows everywhere.
Hello.
Which one's the real Shadow?
Any calls for me?
Hello, any calls for me? Before anybody can even respond.
Jerome, I have you in my power.
Uh-oh.
You give up the jewels, the world will know who you are.
No, I'll do anything you ask.
Okay.
I'll give up the jewels.
The plot thickens.
In a few minutes, a lame old man will call on you. Have the jewels ready.
I'll be waiting
Ready.
here in my office.
So who is... I feel like an idiot for asking. Who is this?
This is it the president?
Because he's not the guy that...
Not the Whispering Shadow.
That, what's his name was with... That Robert Raymond was with earlier.
Dare double cross the Shadow. He'll come back with the jewels, and we'll get him and the Shadow together. The Shadow must have one of his radio receivers hidden in this room, or we couldn't have heard his voice. If we could find it, it would help us to trap him.
It's like, yeah, what are you gonna do when they find you? Just try to attack all... Oh, you're just gonna wait for him to leave. Okay. Sneaky sneak.
Just throw a barrel at him like Donkey Kong.
That would work.
I wonder what this is. Do you suppose this could be it?
I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie last night.
Oh, yeah? How was it?
My favorite... It was actually pretty good. My favorite part was when Donkey Kong says it's on like Donkey Kong.
Come with me.
I'm not sure who that feeble old man in the fake beard was.
This very fake-looking old man.
Wait here. I'll bring the jewels to you.
Yeah, I kind of vaguely remember this guy running around in here in like episode 2, I think. Everybody was running around this building. And at some point, I guess the jewels got hidden there. Oh, we got a Scooby-Doo situation going on here? Okay, sweet. Sweet. This...
All right, play the groovy music.
Cue it. Cue it up. Let's go. Whatever, you know, not even... I can't even finish the thought.
How much do you want to bet that the jewels aren't actually in this box either? How many times? Like the third or fourth time it's happened.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet. Of course he wouldn't give him the real... That was great.
Yoink.
Oh, come on, Jack. Uh-oh.
Somebody turn the air conditioning on.
You have interfered with me for the last time.
What?
Oh!
What?
Wow.
Oh my God. Talk about abrupt.
Wow.
That happened so fast.
Within a second.
I mean, I guess it makes sense that because he has that radio receiver that the Shadow could somehow transmit a bolt of lightning.
Death ray thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean that's how he got the henchman. I can't remember. Did Jack know that the Shadow can do that?
I'm not sure because
Did he
nobody's
just forget.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, is this not the first time that Jack has interacted with the Shadow?
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, he spent most of his time with his henchmen. This is like the first time that Jack, and again, Jack is not a Flash Gordon, he's like, he got punched in the jaw and was just kind of like, all right, and then just so happened the Shadow was like, all right, now's the moment. Now's the time to take out Jack. And I don't know how's Jack going to make it out of this one? He got hit with a bolt of lightning.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Jack does survive this one, I think it's going to take a lot of the air out of the Shadow's sails. Like,
yeah, I mean, at this point,
his death ray, not quite so deadly after all.
He's going to have to tinker with it a little bit because, Jack is probably just going to stand straight up after, when they recap it next week. It's going to be like nothing at all happened. And I wish they would have just at least make it look like he was in a Looney Tunes cartoon and he just, a dynamite stick blew up in his face and he's, kind of charred. Yeah. But he's, and then in the next scene, he's fine. I would find that more acceptable than we just saw him get hit with a bolt of lightning. And then in the next episode, he's totally fine.
And then he exploded. It was so violent. I love that.
Now, did we not have an episode? And again, this was only our 4th episode. I could be totally wrong about this, but for some reason, I felt like we had, maybe it was in episode 1, whatever the cliffhanger was. It felt like they just retconned in episode 2, like it just didn't happen. You remember that? Because I know we had that on, we've had that on other serials, but I feel like it happened on this one, and I was so surprised.
It might have, yeah.
Because it was so
slightly.
Yeah.
Change it.
I mean, again, if you're new to these serials, most of the time what they do is, at least for the ones that we started with, that they would recap the last 2 minutes in the beginning. They would show the last 2 minutes in the beginning of each episode and get you to the cliffhanger and then right after the cliffhanger. But every once in a while, there's just a cliffhanger that they can't walk or that they can't solve in any reasonable way. So they just walk it back and something else happens before the moment that we saw something horrible happen.
Yeah, you get the game over, so then you have to load the previous save and try again.
Thank you for translating that into the parlance of our times, Evan. I appreciate that.
You just gotta load that quick save real quick.
We need this kind of translation regularly, Evan. We need you to put everything in metaphors that the young people can understand.
That Twitch people can understand.
Because I certainly don't. I'm out here in outer space. I have no clue what he's talking about. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, it's the weird thing about the narrative devices of these serials is that cliffhangers are kind of they don't have to be set in stone. You can walk back a cliffhanger with the promise of a new cliffhanger. You're going to have another one every week. What are you going to go complain to the manager that they didn't pick it up from where it left off last time? You're going to write a letter to the studio? You think they're going to write back? Come on now. I mean, maybe.
Oh, they're going to have to walk this one back because Jack just totally died.
But it happens so fast. So maybe he's going to deflect. Maybe he deflects it with the device. Something like that. I don't know.
He was carrying his brother's necklace and the bolt of lightning hit that instead of him.
That's terrible. And I love it. I love the... love the sentimentality and the just, over sentimentality. Sentimentality a word? I don't know. I feel like it is.
It is now.
It is now.
If it wasn't before.
It wasn't before, it is now. Yeah, so that was a hell of a way to end an episode. So who knows how and I didn't even catch the title before it faded out of next week's episode. You gonna source that for us?
So next week's episode is called Wanted for Murder.
Okay. See, it would be wild if they just killed Jack off halfway, like a quarter of the way through, a third of the way through.
That would be crazy. I would actually really admire this show for doing something that out there.
It could
I
be.
don't think they will. But...
Or they're gonna introduce the third brother of Jack's twin brother, Mac. Who knows?
The Whispering Shadow killed my brothers.
Yeah, I mean, you just by the end of this thing, you're gonna find out there's 6 brothers, and we're on the 6th. We're down to the last brother. We've only got so many to spare. Only so many different ways we can make this actor look. We can only get away with the twin thing one time. We can't, if we're in this for the long haul, they've got to at least be triplets. Otherwise, this just isn't gonna work. Yeah, so we'll see if there's any number, again, it's going to be some cheesy narrative device. They're going to work their way out of it. It'll be fun. It'll be worth it. So tune in next week for that. Maybe at the same earlier time, 8:30, maybe not. I don't know. My work schedule is, I'm playing it by ear, but it'll be through to our Christmas break probably. So we're, our times may vary, but next week more than likely be bringing you another installment of The Whispering Shadow, and this Friday we will definitely be broadcasting live starting 30 minutes earlier than our normal time at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be watching The House of Mystery, which again, it's one of those where I keep I've been writing up my fact sheet, doing things for it. I keep putting in House of Mystery, and I have to remind myself there's a "the" at the beginning of the title. I always want to drop the "the." And Evan, you have course corrected me to want to be on top of being true to what the title is. The "the" is important. So, The House of Mystery. We're going to be watching this Friday from 1934. Again, Old Dark House movie combined with Ape Core. So you gotta love it's a classic combination. It's like peanut butter and jelly, we've already had it once, I mean, The Gorilla is definitely an Old Dark House film. The Monster Walks, which we watched back in season 3, which I don't even know if you remember, but that was a combination. So just like PB&J, Reese's, chocolate peanut butter, whatever peanut butter combination that you want to compare this to, I think that's applicable. But outside of peanut butter, I can't really be the judge.
Does this one have a hilarious brother comedy team?
We could be so lucky, but I don't think so. I don't know if there is an actor in the movie that was known for playing the comic relief sidekick to cowboys in a bunch of Western movies. So I'm hoping he's the comedy relief because he's pretty funny. George Gabby Haynes, who is he is kind of, you've seen Blazing Saddles, right? Have you seen Blazing Saddles? Are you not? I can't see your camera's kind of freezing on me. So yes. Okay, good. So there's a character in that. Do you remember the guy? He's like the I can't. Yeah, you can't even quote that movie anymore. It's just too what anymore. I never could quote it. You can't quote that movie. That's the one scene that this character that's based off of the guy that's going to be in the movie on Friday. He's got a beard and a hat, and he's a cantankerous. How do you say that word? Cantankerous. Yeah,
You got it. Cantankerous.
Cantankerous old man. Yeah, that was the word that came up in my research on him. He was good at playing that cantankerous old man and with a white beard and just all folksy, and you can kind of barely understand what he's saying too because he's just grumbling and yelling and kind of pumping his fist down like that. That's the original fist pump. Everybody, there's this fist pump, the original fist pump. You don't see people do that move as much anymore. I mean, different context, right?
Darn tootin' enough anymore.
Darn tootin'. Yeah, that's the thing now. Every time we see that actor in the movie on Friday, we just have to keep spouting out these Western Western phrases. And you're darn tootin', boy howdy. I'm going to have to get a list ready. I'm going to have to prep, which is something I never do with my material. We're all improv here on the Scream Stream, okay? We pride ourselves on the fact that we are all improv live, but sometimes you just got to load some material up. So we'll see. I'll be ready to go when we see Gabby Hayes, and hopefully he's the comic relief. But we will get no hilarious brothers. So I hate to disappoint anybody out there, but no hilarious brother comedy team in this old Dark House Apecore movie. But it should be a lot of fun. Again, nice, brisk, Poverty Row, horror movie, exactly what you expect, about an hour, black and white. So very excited to do that. And of course, as always, Evan brings us a delicious cocktail to pair with the evening's film in a little segment which we call...
Were you drinking?
What are we drinking this Friday, Evan?
So this Friday, we are drinking a hot cocktail. This is we're getting into winter, getting into cold season. We need something to warm up our cold bones.
Yes, we do.
I thought what might be fun is to steal a recipe from Archer, because I was watching Archer the other day, and they were in a cold situation. We're making the peppermint patty. So that's hot chocolate, creme de cacao, peppermint schnapps, and creme de menthe. So 2 kinds of chocolate, 2 kinds of mint. We're going to top ours with whipped cream, of course. I was watching that episode and I thought, that sounds really good. I just want to try that. And luckily, I have a segment with which we can do exactly that. So we're going to get something straight out of fiction. I'll put on my tactical turtleneck and we'll ride off into the danger zone.
I love it. I think it sounds delicious. I don't care if it's, original, not original, when have we ever had a hot cocktail before? I don't
think we have. Even last winter, I don't remember making one. So yeah, maybe this is another first.
Which will be good. Hot chocolate. You can't beat that, dude. Nice, nice, and I don't even know if I've ever had creme de menthe before. Isn't that weird?
I don't know that I have either, come to think of it. I don't have any. I've got to go get some.
Oh, okay. Picking up special for this. So, I can get, probably for the Christmas special drink, That's a nice jumping off point for your recipe. Something that calls for creme de menthe, you know.
There we go.
I mean, we see if we like it on Friday, and then we go from there. If we like it, more creme de menthe cocktails.
We'll have it.
We'll have more. But we'll see. We don't know. We haven't had it. So that'll be fun. If you want to see us try creme de menthe for the first time this Friday, if you've ever wanted, this is what the people have been dying to see. Us trying liquors we've never tried before. So that'll be fun. It sounds really good. So I'm excited for this. So you will, if you want to find that recipe, you can see that over on our Instagram page. We're over there at Screamstream Show. And I forgot the top with whipped cream portion of Evan's recipe. I didn't meant to add it to the comment or to the description of the Instagram post, and I didn't. So just remember, top with whipped cream. But all the other ingredients are correct. So you can go find that over on Instagram at Screamstream Show. Of course, we're also on TikTok and X at Screamstream Show. And if you want to catch up on any of our previous episodes, you can find us over on YouTube at Screamstream Live. Go check out, our shorts, all that good stuff, playlists. Got a new animation cartoon compilation up from last season's set of cartoons. So those are always a good time, always fun to watch. If you're looking for something spooky to get into, that's always good. So you can go check that out, and hey, keep subscribing, please. We're liking where the numbers are at, so we want to see that go up. The next goal is 1,000. That's where our sights are set next. So
Nothing, baby.
Help us get there. Help us. Let's see how fast we can get there. We are here for you guys, and we're gonna keep bringing you public domain horror. So if you like it, you like what we're doing, then join us and join your fellow Scream streamers here every Wednesday and Friday, and let's stream some public domain horror and have a good time. Well, anything before we sign off tonight? I forgot to say, of course, follow us on the socials. How can I forget? Of course, find me over on X at Spakenstein, Mr. Evan Sink on X and Instagram at Caligari Cursed. Now, anything before we sign off tonight, Evan?
I'll just say, Nama, see you later.
Until Friday, sweet screams, everybody.
And to all, a good Friday.